Having an exceptional relationship with your spouse affects every single aspect of your life and is crucial for experiencing your dream life together. I'm Rob Murgatroyd.
And I'm Kim Murgatroyd. Listen in on our honest, filter-free conversations as we navigate life and business together without killing each other.
You'll learn by osmosis how to transform the friction you feel in your relationship into a purposeful foundation that will allow you to grow together.
Welcome to the Friday Podcast.
Kimberly Toscana, Murgatroyd, how are you today?
Did you fake tan?
You get my water. I did not.
You
fake
literally
tan.
look
You'd
like
see
you've
it
been...
in my hands. You see a drop of tan anywhere.
It must be the fact that you've been sitting outside in your puffer coat, shoeless.
I told you, I have people that say to me all the time, like, where'd you go? And I'm like, where'd I go? I haven't left the fucking house. And they're like, no, you went somewhere. I'm like, no.
Yeah, my terrace.
My terrace. Terrazza.
Terrazza.
Is it terrazza or is that the name for boobs? How do you say boobs? Isn't it boobs like tatsas? Tatsas.
I literally would not know the answer to that.
Okay, but I need to know the answer to that. Okay, well, what are we here to talk about today? What we're going to talk about today is, all right, I'm going to bitch for just a second.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know, I love being a coach. God, I love being a coach. When I get the right client and I'm helping them, there's nothing that feels better. What is the worst for me? So if you want to work with me, don't ever say this to me.
Don't ever say this to any coach, actually.
There's two things that I don't want you to say to me. The first thing that I don't want you to say to me is, if you're a gal, don't tell me that you want to empower women. Okay? Now, don't shoot the messenger, but it is too vague, and every woman says it. Okay? All right. It's my first pet peeve.
Wait a minute. Can we expand on that? If you're going right now, but I want to empower women, finish the sentence. I want to empower women to
blankety blankety
blankety blankety blank. And you can't empower women. You have to empower them to do something. So what is it that you're empowering them to do?
And by the way, this is not a thing against women. If a man said to me, I want to empower men, I would be just as frustrated because it's unclear. All right. But that's not why we're here. That's not why we're here.
So that's not the thing that annoys you, though.
Here's the thing that annoys me. So make the ring sound.
Like from my childhood?
No,
or
no. Like it's a telephone and you're ringing. We're role playing.
Yeah, I know the ringing from my like.
Oh! You were being specific.
Bring, bring, bring.
You were being specific
bring,
with the actual kind of ring.
Yeah, because it's like, what is it now?
Make it a 90s ring.
I don't know. It's like boo because it's vibrating. Boo. That's my version of my phone vibrating.
Oh my God, you are the worst sound effect person in the world. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Robert's Coaching. Can I help you?
By the way, does anyone do that anymore? Because you actually know who's on the other line.
Hello. Yes, can I help you? Yes. I saw your web page and it said that you help people figure out what's next for them, next chapter. Yes, I do. Great. What's mine? Well, we're going to need to, kind of talk about it. Okay, I know. But do you know what it is?
I like dogs.
No, I don't really know what it is. What do you want to do? I don't want to do what it is that I'm currently doing anymore. And I see you and Kim and you guys look really happy. And I want to do that. You want to move to Italy? Maybe. You want to live in Florence? I don't know. You want to have a podcast? Do you think I should have a podcast? Okay, this is fucking mind-numbingly difficult.
Can I tell a funny story?
The babysitter?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So when we were, maybe I just started dating like a couple of years. So I was like probably like a 28, okay? We had a babysitter come over. This is how long ago it was. It was a babysitter for Demi, and Demi is 25. So we had this young gal come over. So if I was 28, she was probably 21. And at the time, I was still in the fitness world and all of that. And so she came over and we were in the kitchen and she said, I got to tell you, I want to do what you do. And I was sort of confused because I was like, you want to work in fitness? You want to do a fitness competition? Like, I was like trying to figure it because there was no social media really at that time. Like, I was like, what do you mean you want to do what I do? And I said, like, a fitness competition? And she was, no, marry an older man. I was like, what the fuck are you saying to me right now?
I have had guys ask the same thing for me, but in different ways, and they want to just marry a younger girl. So, but
it was, I want to do what you do. I want to marry an older girl. Like, I didn't set out with the intention of marrying an older gentleman. Like, I'm not like, I wasn't like a sugar baby. Like, this is like, she was making it sound like I was a sugar baby and we had an arrangement and you brought me from a foreign country. Like, no. I was like,
is that the title, by the way? If I'm a sugar daddy, are you a sugar baby?
That's right.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm Steven 582 messaged me on Instagram the other day.
Steven 582.
He offered me 7,500 euros per month, but no nude pics necessary. Don't worry.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Camaro guy 973.
Yeah.
Camaro girl 973 thought I was handsome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Mine offered me money right off the bat, though.
You know what we should do? We should hook the two of them up.
Should we? Okay. So this is not what we're talking about today. But let me just explain a little bit of Rob's, he said it was role playing, but then he played both roles. So here's what happens. If you are a coach or you like, I'm an ideator, I like to come up with ideas for people or whatever. So people will come to either Rob or myself and they will say, I've been doing this career for a long time. I want to switch. I want to do something else. What should I do? And like, you know, that is such a vague question. It's like, what should I do? How the hell do I know is really the answer that's going through my head. And I understand where they're coming from because they're like, you guys figured it out. What should I do? Except the problem is we figured it out for ourselves. Like we had to go through a process to figure out what we wanted to do. And we still go through that process. We just went through it the other day. We start with a game of stupid idea time, and that's where it pretty much begins. But so if this is you and you just went, oh shit, they called me out, don't worry about it because we're going to give you the strategies to figure it out today.
Well, listen, I'm half joking. I would say the bulk of the people who say that are not, there are people who do it exactly that way.
No, I literally have had that multiple times.
But the bulk of the people will say something like, I'm kind of done with doing what I'm doing. I don't really love it. Either it's one of two things. Either like, you know, I've been doing something that means nothing to me. I'm working as an employee for a couple of years, you know, whether I'm in a cubicle or I'm making $150,000 a year. And I'm, you know, just making somebody else rich. And I'm just, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's not that rewarding. Or somebody has been doing something for 20 years, 25 years, and it once was very valuable to them. And now they're just tired of it. They've just been doing it a long time. So it's one of those two things. And in both of the cases, what they'll say is something like, I just don't know what I want to do next. Right. And I can appreciate that because I've been there myself and I know what it feels like. And honestly, we have it seems like we have a version of this every 90 days where we are trying to go, that's not working. Let's change this. That's not working. Let's change that. Right. So, you know, in preparation for this podcast, I was thinking, okay, well, what are some things that could help this person before they even got to me? So I'll give them to you. The first one is ask yourself, what has been calling to you? There's probably something that no matter how much you try and stuff it away, no matter how much you try and say, oh, that's stupid, there's something that catches your eye. I don't know if you walking down the street in the city where you live or, you know, or on vacation or whatever, and you see somebody pull out a camera and you go, oh God, it'd be so cool to like just take pictures for a living. Like what? Like that would be cool. Or in my case, I was in Ibiza, you know, watching DJs going, God, that would be cool to be able to learn how to do that, right? There's something that is peculiar to someone else, but perhaps perfectly normal for you. Like I did one of our podcast listeners, who's also one of my coaching clients, and I'm certain that she wouldn't care if I mentioned this. We were having this conversation, and I asked her, "What are you most interested in?" And she instantly answered. She goes, "Spies." And I said, "What?" She goes, "Spies. I love spies." I'm like, like spies, like spies? She goes, "Yeah, I love everything about it." And I pushed back against it, with her, and I was like, "Oh, tell me what you love." Like what? She goes, "Oh my God, espionage." And she started naming all these things, which I can't name right now, undercover operations, double agents, all these things. And she went into this world of people that she follows and what she loves about it. So we're in the process now of building a spy brand for her. And there's a much larger conversation, but I'm sharing this with you to tell you that even if you have something that seems like the most fakakta thing in the world, like spies, like who the fuck, like what am I going to do with a spy? You can actually do something with a spy. And we'll figure it out. So the first thing is, what has been calling to you, but you're afraid, or you think it's not going to work, or it seems stupid, like photography, spies, or DJ. Think about that thing. Write that thing down. The next thing I want you to think about is, when you think about what's next in your life and you think about a vision for your future, you may not have this vision all figured out. You may not be like, "Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to live in Beverly Hills and I'm going to make $9 million and the boys from Entourage are going to come over for lunch. That's what's going to happen," right? That's a little too granular. What I'm looking for is, give me like the feeling. Like, what is the feeling that you want next in your life? Like, think about ease. What's the ease? I want to wake up without an alarm. I want to go to the gym for a couple hours. I want to write a book, right? What are the things for you when you think about this next stage? Forget about what you're going to do in the stage. Just think about the stage. Because if you just keep pushing your brain hard to try and come up with an answer for what you're going to do, you're likely not going to get that answer. But if you dance around it in a few different ways, that may help you. So get a sense, not an exact, but get a sense for what that vision looks like. The next thing I want you to think about is money. Get a handle on how much money you need. I remember sitting there going, "I want $2 million. And my friend saying to me, "Why?" And, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but if you Google my name and Dream Life Budget, you'll come up with the shows and the exercises and probably even a document that can help.
And if you're in our Patreon community, you get the Dream Life Budget spreadsheet to like work from as well. So if you're in there, it's in the top, it's pinned to the top of the Patreon.
And if you want to be a member, there'll be a link in the show notes for you to do that. But think about, how much money do I want to make? There's a big difference with what you choose that you need to do if you have to make $2 million with what you choose that you need to do if you have to make $100,000.
Okay, I want to interject something here because I think it's, sometimes I watch social media and I talk to people, like people that have reached out and they're like, "What should I do?" And, I want to shift my career and blah, blah, blah. And I think sometimes that although this advice is great, especially like, what are you being called to do and what is the vision that you want for your life? Sometimes the financial opportunity that is going to get you there, that's going to be the bridge to get you from where you are now to where you want to be in that vision, is not necessarily something that you are, so excited, can't wait. Sometimes it's more of a functional opportunity. So I'm going to use our story. And by the way, our story is really similar to many, many, many other people's stories that you probably listen to their podcast and you don't even know this is their story, because this is like, no one talks about it. But when Rob was a chiropractor, we sat down at the table and we played stupid idea time. He didn't want to be a chiropractor anymore. We had this little baby. We had a daughter going to college soon, and we had the little one. And so we wanted a change. We threw up everything under the sun, played stupid idea time. We knew how much money we needed. So we did the budget, knew how much we needed to be able to replace the income. What we came to in that moment was not, I'm going to build a podcast. I'm going to write books. I'm going to move to Italy. I'm going to even start like the masterminds and stuff like that. It didn't even go there. It went, I mean, we had things up there like, I remember I was going to do a dog cafe in LA because you wanted to move to LA, like the vision. So Rob had the vision. I want to move to LA. I don't want to be a chiropractor. Here's how much money we need. And what we ended up doing was network marketing because it was something that was in our zone of excellence. It was something like we chose a lane of wellness. And so that was in both of, like, I was in fitness, he was a doctor. It was in our world, it was in our lane. And so we chose that to be our bridge to where we ultimately wanted to go. So what did that look like? Well, it looked like sitting our ass on two horses. We had the clinic. We did not put the wellness into the clinic. We didn't combine that, but we had the clinic and we had this on the side and we built both for a couple of years until we didn't have to, until the network marketing stuff paid for basically what we were getting out of the medical world. We were able to sell the clinic, and then Rob segued into podcasts, masterminds, and the things that lit him up. So he segued out of the zone of excellence being a chiropractor, as well as doing this network marketing business. That was like a zone of excellence for us. It wasn't our dream. It wasn't, I never wanted to be a professional network marketer, but it was the bridge that we used, the financial bridge that led us to being able to do the things we wanted to do that are more in the zone of genius, like the work hard, play hard events and podcasts and Friday Date. And like it became that. And guess what? Guess what it is today? It is still a financial foundation for our family. And so sometimes people overlook affiliate marketing and like there are like this UCG, like there's so many things out there now that would hit that could operate as a bridge for you in the same way that network marketing did for us. There are endless opportunities now to make money and to create that bridge for you, whether it's Upwork or UGC or network marketing or whatever. There's a gazillion financial opportunities. So when you were talking about money, I want to throw that out there because so many people are so wrapped up in, I want to build something that's my passion. And although that's great, if we had to build, think about this, Rob, if we had to build the podcast, the events, and all of that while you were doing chiropractic, that would have been really difficult. And it probably would have taken us way longer than it did by building this bridge, this financial bridge for us. And so building this financial bridge in network marketing shortened it. And we were out in 3 years. Like you were out of the clinic in 3 years doing something else you love to do. And today we still have the income coming in from that decision. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because not a lot of people talk about that. They talk about building the passion project or starting the book or doing the this or doing the that. That can be a long ass time. And sometimes doing something else that creates income, even though it's not your dream, is a bridge to get to your dream.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. So let me just drive that home in two ways. When you're thinking about what's next, consider the idea of a bridge, which is what Kim just mentioned, something entirely different that you can do for a minute to help bridge the gap. And network marketing is a really fucking good idea to do because you can do it in the pockets of your day. You absolutely can. And we did.
And this is not a pitch for network marketing. I'm pulling back the curtain. I want to be authentic and clear that like you didn't leap from being a chiropractor to doing events around the world.
I think the bridge is important, but I think the other thing that they need to know is that if they're clear about what it is that they want to do, or if they're testing a couple of things out that they want to do, that if they don't choose the bridge option, they should consider the idea of, understands that they're going to be sitting their ass on two horses while they do it. Mm-hmm. So just to drive this thing home, option A, sit your ass on two horses while you're trying to figure out what to do. Option B, choose something that is completely different, like network marketing that can bring income in as a bridge in between the two of them.
And then option C, I think, is taking what you currently do and creating bandwidth. Like, so let's say you're a CPA. Okay. Let's say you're a CPA and you're a CPA that works in office. Well, you could take that extension and do what you did initially, right? Initially, what you did in your clinic or your doctor, we'll use doctor. Take that, you owned your own practice. And so what did you do? You hired people in. And so it freed you up to begin building something else. But you could have taken that and expanded on it in some way that would have been, and I don't know how, but you could have expanded on it in some way that would have been less time for you, but still brought in money. So maybe it's an extension of what, like if you love what you currently do, but you don't love the hours or you don't love, whatever it is, like I've seen CPAs take their entire business online, hire a bunch of other CPAs and build this like brand. Bridget, who you interviewed, she's a fractional CFO. And so you'll find Bridget Boucha, is that how you say her last name? You'll find her online. She's incredible. But she's a CFO. She's in finances and she created this entire online brand instead of working in a company. And she's a fractional CEO for a ton of companies.
CFO, yeah.
CFO, sorry, for a ton of companies. And so you can take what your skill set is, your zone of excellence, and you can expand on it in a way to bring you more freedom or income or whatever it is that you want. And so there's 3 options right there that you could do. You could sit your ass on 2 horses for as long as it takes. You could build a bridge, or you could do something to expand on what your current business model is that gives you more time freedom.
Yeah. And one of the things, it's really easy to get locked into a story about how you can't figure it out. That's easy to do. I do that every day. Okay. It is not easy. Some people are just naturally negative. Like I'm a super negative guy.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not. That is such bullshit.
Listen, let me tell you the truth.
You're telling a story.
No. I am a naturally super negative guy where I think the world is coming to an end.
You're not negative. You're pessimistic. You're not negative guy. You're pessimistic.
I have to do regular daily work to get out. I get out of the pessimism. I don't stay there. I clearly don't. But it is my natural default that I'm working on changing. So it's there. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because I want you to understand that if you are that person and you feel like, I just have no idea, I don't know. If you keep that mantra and you keep repeating that mantra like you don't know, then you're never going to know the answer. So, get up in the morning and journal how pissed off you are about not knowing, get it out of you. But when it comes time to coming to work, think about these 6 things that we're giving you today and start brainstorming and asking different questions like, well, like the first one I gave you, like, well, what, if I don't know what my calling was, what could have been a calling that I've gotten through the years, right? Number 4, if you knew you would succeed, what would you do? So in other words, if you looked at something and you went like, if I knew I could be a photographer and make money, if I knew I could be a DJ and make money, like if I knew that, then I would do it.
So there's no fear of failure.
Right. So like if it was, like if I'm saying, okay, I'm going to ask you this one time, Mr. McGillicuddy, if you could be a DJ and you could be touring around the world and confetti can be coming out of cannons in front of you, would you do it? Yes or no?
Rob's answer would be yes. So
I love that. Number 5, are you willing to try other things that would work, which is really what we just, so forget the numbering, just listen to the podcast. I don't know what the numbering is.
No, it's good. Number 5, are you willing to try other things that would work just as good? So that's the bridge, right? Okay. So that's the bridge.
All right. And then now we're going to take it home. Sorry. You can see our numbering, like our heart's in the right place. Our numbers aren't.
We try.
What could you do all day long that you wouldn't tire of, and that thing would be the greatest contribution to the world? Now, I know that we started this podcast with you going, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. Why are you asking me what I could do all day long? I'm asking you to open your mind and answer this one question. If you could do something all day long, this is a different question than what do I want to do with my life? This is a different question. If you can do something all day long and you would never get tired of it, what's the answer to that? And if you don't have an answer to that, then you don't have a problem of not knowing what's coming next. You have a self-awareness problem. You're not paying attention to what's going on inside your body, what's going on inside your heart, and what you're feeling. That's a different problem.
Yeah. And so this is from the zone of genius that we've talked about in a few of our previous podcasts. And it's a great question because what could you do all day long that not get tired of and could be the greatest contribution, or you could make a great contribution? Notice that it doesn't say, what could you do all day long that you could make money for? Notice that it doesn't say that, because that when people come to you and they go, okay, Rob, what should I do? That's what they're thinking. What's something that I would love to do and make money at? That's not the question. What would you love to do, not get tired of, and make a great contribution in?
It's not even, I'm gonna split hairs with you. It's not even what would you love to do. This one's really important.
Yeah. What would you do all day?
What can you do all day long? That is a different question.
Pet my dog.
I could love you all day long.
I could love you all day long too.
Right, we're gonna leave on a high note.
All right. So that's it. That's it. So don't call us and say, what should I do? You need to walk through these steps for yourself. Get in touch with you, get centered, get aligned, and then ask yourself these questions and walk through it and say, look, do I want to sit my ass on two horses and figure it out? Do I want to build a bridge with doing something else till I get there? Do I want to expand my current business? What would I do all day long? What could I do all day long, not get tired of it, and make a great contribution? And what would I do if I knew I could succeed at it? What would I do? What would I love to do? These are all questions you can ask yourself to kick off that brainstorm of stupid ideas.
All right, now listen, if you're in a place where you're like, I need some inspiration, I don't know what the fuck to do.
But I promise I'm not going to ask you that question.
Come join us in Italy and spend a week. Get out of your day-to-day and get around some people who are in a different vibration. Our trip this fall in Tuscany is going to be insane. Look down in the show notes. There's a link. Just add your name to our email list, and we'll update you with pricing and what we're doing and blah, blah, blah. But add your name. Okay. That's it. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody, if you've ever thought about coming to hang out with Kim and I on one of our next Rob and Kim Italia events and you want to learn more, just click the Rob and Kim Italia link in the show notes and add your name and email, and we'll send you all the details as soon as they're available. We are obsessed with this country and how it affects you, and we want to share that magic of culture, food, wine, art, architecture, and some secret magic moments that we've cooked up with you. So be sure to add your name because these events sell out quickly.